First, I'm going to talk about all the different sweater styles. I'm going to talk about the different shirt styles, and then I'm going to talk about the formula for mixing and matching. And so without further ado, let's get into sweater types. First up, we've got the classic crewneck sweater. Defined by its rounded, high neckline, this sweater comes in a wide variety of colors and patterns. Now the next sweater style, again defined by its neckline, is going to be the V-neck. This sweater pretty much comes in all the same colors and patterns as the crewneck, although I do find because this is a common layering sweater, it's often going to be in a solid neutral color. And as I mentioned, this is one of the easiest sweaters to add to your wardrobe if you want to be able to wear a dress shirt underneath, possibly layer this sweater with a sports jacket. And the V-neck, because of its shape, does an excellent job of showing off a necktie if you're wearing that with your dress shirt. The next sweater is the classic cardigan. Now this is an open front sweater. Traditionally, it had buttons, but you're also going to see zipped cardigans out there. And unlike a sweater jacket, it doesn't have a lapel and usually has patch pockets. Now sweater jackets, as I just mentioned, usually have a lapel and sometimes have what are known as vented pockets. Vented pockets actually go into the garment versus patch pockets are sewn on top. Patch pockets, especially on a cardigan, are going to be more casual. The vented pockets on a sweater jacket are going to be a little bit more formal. Next up, we've got the quarter zip. This is going to be more of a modern classic, especially because we're talking about zippers, although you will see buttons on this, and I'm going to lump them together. Buttons, I think a little bit more classic, and if the buttons are smaller, I think it's a little bit more formal. Zippers, because of their casual nature, are going to make the garment overall just, more casual. That being said, a lot of companies pay attention to those small details, and they use a clean zipper design, which in today's day and age, if it's cold outside, I think you could even wear this with a suit. Next up, let's talk about the classic turtleneck. Now, a classic turtleneck is going to have a longer neck that needs to be folded. Now, occasionally you're going to see mock turtlenecks. These look like a turtleneck, but there is no fold required. Next up, we've got sweater vests. We're going to see this with both the zippers and buttons. The button vests are going to be more formal, and depending on the design and the thickness, the formality of this can go either way, but in general, sweater vests are actually made to be layered with a suit to help insulate and provide a bit of warmth. Next up, we've got the polo sweater, and this one's unique because it is the only sweater type that has its own built-in collar. Now, polo sweaters, because they are knitwear, are going to have a soft collar, and when it comes to layering, I need to be clear, a polo sweater should not be worn with a shirt that has a collar. No, that's just redundant. Now, at this point, let's get into some of the more casual styles out there. So cable knit sweaters. Now the cable knit is referring to the pattern and to the weave, not so much the collar type. And you will see, turtlenecks out there that have a cable knit weave. But understand, in general, cable knit sweaters are going to be a bit more casual. And speaking of sweaters that are made to be worn as an outer piece, not under a jacket, let's talk about those heavy, chunky knit sweaters you're going to see out there. These sweaters are usually going to use a thicker yarn. They're going to have what appears to be a more textured appearance. And when you feel them, you touch them, you are really going to be able to tell that this is a thicker, heavier weight sweater. Now, what about Fair Isle? What about Norwegian? What about these pattern sweaters you're going to see out there? Similar to the other sweaters we talked about, these are going to be casual and they're often made to be worn as outerwear. But of course, if you're going outside, it's inclement weather. You definitely want to throw a shell on to be able to protect you from the wind. But these are going to be thicker, heavier, insulating sweaters that are leveraging distinctive patterns that have cultural significance. Now, gents, today's video is brought to you by Anson Belt and Buckle. Now, gents, as many of you guys know, for over a decade, I've been working with Anson Belt and Buckle. In fact, one of the first videos I put on this channel back in, I think, like 2011 was an unpaid review of this product because I absolutely loved it. And to this day, I still wear Anson Belt and Buckle because I love their micro adjust system. Now, gents, if you haven't seen their micro adjust technology, it's making the belt hole obsolete. So the straps last longer, and overall, it's just an upgrade on an accessory that men have been wearing for over 1,000 years. On top of that, when you go over to Anson Belt and Buckle, what you're going to find is tons of straps and tons of buckles. And if you're looking to grab your first belt or maybe your 10th, guys, grab their box set. It's the best deal out there where you can select a couple buckles, maybe a few straps. And don't be shy about maxing out with 3 buckles and 3 straps, because instead of 3 belts, no, that's 3 times 3, you've got 9 different combinations, which if you didn't pick up on, guys, I love interchangeability, the idea you can own less, get more outfits out of it. So if you haven't been over to the website lately and checked out all the different straps, all the different colors, all the different styles, you're for sure going to want to get over there and look at their new money belts. Now, I've looked at money belts, and let's face it, most of them out there are pretty damn ugly. These things look great. I mean, for the most part, they are just a regular belt, except on the back. They've got that zipper. You don't even notice it's there when you're wearing it. And right in this belt, you can maybe fold in a couple emergency 100s, maybe your crypto seed codes, whatever it is you want to be able to secure. You can put this stuff right there in your money belt. No one is ever going to find this. And of course, if you're going over to Anson Belt and Buckle, make sure to use that link in the description of today's video to make sure you guys get the best deal on the web. I can't say enough great things about them. Highly recommended. All right, so now let's talk about the shirt types. First up, we've got the undershirt. Now, the undershirt is actually the original t-shirt, but an undershirt nowadays is usually made to fit the body a bit closer. Made from a lightweight material, it'll come in a crew neck or a v-neck, and sometimes, and I know I personally prefer this, a deep v-neck so that you don't see it underneath any other shirt that you're wearing on top of it. But yeah, undershirts are designed to actually protect your outerwear from the sweat and debris that actually comes off of your own body. They also provide a little bit of insulation, and if you get cold easily, you nip out, and you don't want everyone seeing that, yeah, you can even wear them under a t-shirt, which is our next garment. So the classic t-shirt really doesn't need an introduction. You've got both v-necks and regular crew neck t-shirts, but a t-shirt is nothing more than an evolved undershirt made nowadays to be worn as outerwear. Now, depending on the brand, the material, the thickness, t-shirts come in a wide variety of styles, different looks. You can have patterns from graphic tees to lightweight solids to heavier weight solids. Now, stepping up a bit in formality, just simply because we've got that opening in the front with a few buttons, we've got the classic Henley. Now, the Henley design has been around for over 150 years. I really like them. I think they're an underused garment in menswear, and I especially like them when they're long sleeve. I just think it looks really good, and it's a great alternative, and I know for me, is a go-to staple during the winter. Now, if we were to add a collar to that Henley, all of a sudden we've got the polo. Now, the classic polo shirt, as most of us know it, is going to be shorter sleeve. You do have longer sleeve polos out there, and you've got even thicker, heavier weight polo shirts, but the key distinctive feature for most people with a polo is going to be that soft collar. Now, at this point, let's get into casual button-downs. So casual button-downs are going to have a full opening front, but they're usually going to be made and cut in a way and from a fabric that makes them more casual than a dress shirt. So shirts in this category are going to be made from chambray. You're also going to see linen shirts fall into this category, casual button-down linens. You're also going to see flannels, and flannels, especially during this time of the year, during the colder season, I think are a great option. And the reason being is that flannel fabric is a napped fabric, meaning that it's been treated, and there's little hairs, there's little bits of yarn that come off. That right there provides a softness and an insulation layer, so it actually makes them warmer than a flat laying fabric like a twill. Now, stepping things up a bit in formality, but not yet a dress shirt, let's go to the Oxford cloth button down. Now, with Oxford cloth, you don't always have to have a button down collar, but that's one of the distinctive features when they're looking for a classic Oxford shirt. They ask for the button down collar because this was made popular on the Northeast, the whole Ivy League style, but this particular shirt is casual, even though it may look a bit formal, because of that collar and because of the weave of this fabric. So Oxford fabric is a basket weave. And what's interesting, a lot of the color fabrics is that the horizontal thread and the vertical thread are occasionally dyed a different color. From a distance, this gives a softer pastel type color look to the fabric, but when you get in close, you can see the texture, you can see the thickness, and overall this fabric is very hard wearing. Which takes us then to the highest level of shirts we have out there, dress shirts. Now, most dress shirts we're going to see out there are made from a poplin weave. This is going to be using a very thin yarn with a very tight weave that gives the shirt a lightweight, luxurious feel. Occasionally, you can see dress shirts out there using a twill weave, which is a very tough, durable weave, but slightly less dressy than poplin because it has a distinctive arrow-like pattern, which if it's a true solid can only be seen up close. And I have to admit, I do like twill fabrics because I think they're a little bit warmer during the winter. And really quick, with dress shirts, historically, they should be in a lighter color. They can come in a variety of stripes, occasionally a check, but this does make the shirt much more casual. All right, so now you're aware you've got all these options, but how to pair them together. What's the formula? Well, the first step to properly matching a shirt with a sweater is to match the formality. So all of our dress shirts are going to pair really well with any of our V-neck or crew neck sweaters that have a thin, lightweight weave and are in a neutral color. So our V-necks, cardigans, sweater jackets, sweater vests, all of these are going to pair with dress shirts. Now, taking this a step down, talking about our flannel shirts, our chambray shirts, our Oxfords, and maybe even some of our polos, these are going to be the shirts you're going to wear with the more casual sweaters. So our crew necks and the variety of different quarter zip, to include those quarter zips that also have buttons, which some people do call a Henley style sweater. Now, understand that this is just a starting point. And when it comes to versatility, I do believe that dress shirts have a lot of range here. I've seen people wear white dress shirts with pretty much the range of all the sweaters I've talked about so far, especially when you're wearing a necktie. This can go with a cardigan, this can go with a quarter zip. A combination looks great with a sweater jacket. So if you choose a flannel shirt with a distinctive check in it, make sure you're pairing it with a sweater like a quarter zip that's solid, that's going to allow the shirt to basically stand in the limelight. Right with that, if you decide to go with a sweater that has a bold pattern, oftentimes you're going to see sweaters, they've got stripes just going straight across. In that case, just try to choose a shirt that blends in, not something that has high contrast, something that maybe complements the dominant color in the sweater that, yeah, just adds structure to the neck, but doesn't try to draw from the attention attention the sweater is commanding. All right, so now let's put this into practice. The first combination we see right here, we've got a crew neck with a classic dress shirt. Now you can choose to wear this with a tie or without, but you want to ensure the shirt collar peaks slightly above the sweater neckline. This right here is a timeless look for business casual. Next up, we've got the V-neck with dress shirt and a necktie. Now what I love about this combination, what makes it work really well, is you've got 3 different fabric materials. You've got the wool of the sweater mixed with the cotton of the shirt and the silk of the necktie. And even though only a small portion of the tie can be seen, we know that you're wearing it, so the overall formality of the outfit has stepped up. Now this combination right here, you can wear it on its own, or you can layer a sports jacket or wear this with a suit combination. Next up, we've got a cardigan with a t-shirt. I know, I said you got to stick with the formalities, but here's what I want to stress, gentlemen. Once you know the rules, you have the power and my permission to go out there and break them. Now, of course, you got to be confident in this look, and I would highly recommend a t-shirt that is a high quality, well-fitted t-shirt, and it also helps if you've got a good build. But yeah, this monochromatic look right here works, especially if you're just going out with your partner on the weekend. Next up, we've got the quarter zip and a chambray shirt. So a lot of people, when they see chambray, they think denim, but it's lighter weight and it usually has a lighter weave, but chambray is beautiful. I actually love this fabric, and what's nice about this combination right here is you got that roughness of the shirt mixed in with the elegance of that quarter zip, and yeah, this combination just works. So what about the Fair Isle sweater? Well, in this case, underneath, and we're not going to see it, you're probably wearing a t-shirt, an undershirt, or maybe a Henley. But with these combinations where the shirt's hidden, the sweater is taking front and center attention, and let it do that by wearing maybe some indigo dark colored jeans, or a pair of gray flannel trousers, or maybe a dark brown corduroy. Your footwear, keep it casual, a little bit dressed up, maybe bring in a bit of texture, maybe some suede desert boots, or a pair of lace dress boots, maybe with a bit of broguing on them, or perhaps keeping it super simple and versatile with a pair of black colored chukkas. Now when it comes to turtlenecks, I love seeing a guy wear that with a jacket, a sports jacket, a blazer, even wearing it with a casual suit. But even if you're going casual, like with an Aran sweater, a great piece of outerwear, look at this sleek green safari, or maybe even a fatigue jacket on top. All right, Jen, so hopefully you got value, but if that was too much, like Antonio, man, I am a lazy guy. Make it simple. Well, guys, I got you covered with this video right here, the Lazy Man's Guide to Casual Style. Boom, right here. I got you covered. If you want it easy, casual style, boom, right here. Oh, yeah.